Here.
Freeholder Feliz.
Present.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Here.
Freeholder Janelli.
Here.
Freeholder Zor. Here. Chairwoman Voss.
Here. Obviously, a quorum is present. Will everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance? And Councilwoman Lawrence Mazer, will you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please remain standing for a moment. We would like to observe a moment of silence. The Board of Chosen Freeholders offers its condolences to Jean Jadadia of the Bergen County Sheriff's Department on the passing of her son, Michael. Our thoughts and prayers are given to Jean, Michael's daughter, Caitlin, and to their extended family. Thank you. We will now have our invocation with Father Peter Matthew of St. Philip's Rectory in Saddlebrook, and ask please that he come forward.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, son, for inviting me on this, for this important occasion. The church always believes the power of prayer. And so today is an important day for the county. So I'm here to invoke God's blessing upon all of you, asking God our Father to bless you all with good health and with all the necessary blessings that you need to continue all the good work that you are doing for the county, for the people who are around here. So we are asking God's blessings upon you all now. Let us pray. Father, I'm praying for all these freeholders. Give your grace in their every decision and help them to think clearly, grant them discernment and common sense so that they will be strong and effective leaders. Help them to lead and govern with integrity and make their integrity guide them and keep them on track. Direct their steps according to your word, for their decisions have a great impact on our lives. Be their defender and protector and keep them always on guard. Help them to be strong and courageous, standing firm in their faith and influencing others for your kingdom. Encourage and strengthen them, giving them the wisdom they need. Help them to have courage and faith in you, no matter what they are facing day-to-day life. We ask all this in the name of our God. Amen. Amen. And also pray to our Heavenly Father, for we always say, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. And my thank you again so much for inviting me, John and Mayor, and thank you so much for inviting me for this occasion, and I wish you all blessing, and ask the good Lord to continue to bless you all. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And now I'd like to invite Mayor Bob White to say a few words.
Thank you, Joan. I want to welcome the board of freeholders here to Saddlebrook. I want to also welcome all the spectators, everyone in the audience, the public. This is the first time that anyone in Saddlebrook can remember the county board of freeholders having a meeting in Saddlebrook. I know you take it on the road occasionally, but again, I believe this is the first time here that it's been done. And it's really an honor to have all of you here, and we're thrilled to have you here. We here in Saddlebrook are very, very proud to be part of Bergen County. And we want the Bergen County, residents of Bergen County, to look at Saddlebrook as being one of the best towns in the great county of Bergen. I'm pleased with the relationship that we have with the county government. We work very well together. The county executive and freeholder board are always very supportive and responsive to the needs of the residents of Saddlebrook. I come from public safety. That's my background, my former career. So from the police department, I know that we work hand in hand with the county prosecutor's office, the sheriff's department in various initiatives and task forces. One program with the sheriff's department, the inmate labor program, has been very good to Saddlebrook. We've used them on many projects. As a matter of fact, this council chambers was painted earlier this year by the inmates, and we appreciate that. The county road department always responds in a very timely manner, maintaining and improving the roads, county roads, and the traffic signals here in town. I can't say enough about the Parks Department. They do a fabulous job keeping the Saddle River Park clean, and they're always very gracious and very courteous to all the public officials that they deal with. Saddle River Park is really a big attraction in Saddlebrook. I think some of us have come to, I guess, when you have it in town, you don't appreciate it, or you don't realize how good you have it, but it is used by a large number of our residents for leisure and exercise. And really, it's very appealing to new home buyers that come to town because they like the fact that the county park is there. Park personnel also work very well with our DPW and also the Passaic Valley Sewer Commission. They've done projects where they snagged the river a couple of times and some tributaries, minor tributaries, and they've been very helpful in that regard too. We recently had a public seminar on coyotes. Back in May, we had several coyote sightings. It seemed like all in the same week. We had about 5 or 6 reports, coyotes. So we called on the experts from the Bergen County Animal Shelter to do a presentation on basically coexisting with coyotes. And it was videotaped, and we aired that on our Saddlebrook Community Television, which was a big success, and I thank you for that. One thing that came out of that meeting, which is very good, is the county is purchasing signs to post throughout the whole county park system, that they're basically alerting people that coyotes are, they're present in the area. So I could go on. There's several other, things that the county does to help us. Just real quick, community development grant and the open space grant. Representatives help us with that, filling out the application and really support us on that. Lastly, I just want to thank all of you, all the freeholders, for your public service, for your service to the residents of Bergen County. I've been serving the public this is my 34th year. For 33 years, I earned a lot more money than I do now. But you know what? Giving back really to the community is my reward. It's something that's very satisfying to me. It's gratifying, and it's what I want to do, and I'm very pleased with that. I know all of you, like me and my fellow council members that are in the audience and that aren't here, that couldn't be here, are committed to helping people and making a difference in their lives. So thank you very much.
Thank you. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We will now have the hearing of the general public with a 3-minute time limit in effect. The board attorney will limit the time, and when the time of the speaker expires, the timekeeper will announce that the time has expired. Please give us your name. We don't have cards this evening, but give us your name and a little bit about the topic that you'd like to speak about, so that we can keep a good flow. Okay. The first one on my list is Ken Dolsky.
Good evening, my name is Ken Dolsky. I'm on 21 Winfield Drive in Parsippany, and I'm a volunteer with the Coalition Against the Pilgrim Pipeline. 4 weeks ago, we informed you that last fall, Bergen County provided permission for Pilgrim Pipeline to conduct surveys in the highlands. 2 weeks ago, we asked you to rescind this permission and have not received a response, or been told when we would receive a response. It is very hard to understand why this permission was granted in the first place. The proposed pipeline route runs through the preservation area in the highlands. As I'm sure you know, this is almost 400,000 acres designated to have exceptional natural resource value, and new pipelines are prohibited in this region. However, when asked by Pilgrim Pipeline for permission to survey, with a clear intention that this was the first step in a process designed to run 2 new oil pipelines through the preservation area, Bergen County's apparent reaction was, certainly, we'd be glad to accommodate you. Many other municipalities, both in and outside the Highlands, recognizing the risk this pipeline presents, refused permission. What thought process went into this decision? Was there any consideration of the potential effects of a spill on water supplies for the region or the effects of construction in the Highlands? We understand that the freeholders were not aware of this decision, but having been made aware, we're asking you to rescind this permission. As we have explained, this pipeline brings totally unacceptable risks and no benefits to Bergen County. We have asked you for a meeting and have been told that you will not meet with us until you do your homework, something frankly that should have been done before providing survey permission. So clearly, even a year after this pipeline was announced, you have not decided if this development is good or bad for Bergen County. However, till that time, why not operate on the basic principle of preventing further damage? You can rescind permission today with the simple stroke of a pen. This decision can also be reversed if you decide that that is what you ultimately want. We're waiting for a response or even a commitment to provide one, and will continue to ask. We encourage you to do your due diligence quickly on this project, come to a decision, and not drag this out meeting after meeting. Oakland's mayor and town council met with Pilgrim and asked their questions, and we suggest that you ask them for help in making your evaluation. Lastly, we're asking for transparency around these significant decisions. There does not appear to be any proprietary or confidential information involved here. We see no reason why this process, including your positions, should not be made public. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alan Kantrowitz.
My name's Alan Kantrowitz.
Spell your first name?
Kantorowitz.
Thank you.
I've met with a few of the freeholders. My desire is to start Bergen County's first Convention and Visitors Bureau and turn it into the largest tourism organization in the state of New Jersey. Last week, Meeting Professionals International, their World Education Congress, voted to have their next annual, and the first time they've ever done it, in Atlantic City, bringing over 2,000 meeting planners to Atlantic City. As of right now, Bergen County will not be represented there. Smaller counties will, such as Sussex County and such. I set forth the challenge to you, let's see if we can put together some kind of a tourism organization for Bergen County before this event happens in 2016.
Thank you. Michael Lascalzo.
Hello, it's C-A-L-Z-O. I'm 264 Cape Avenue, Melbourne Park. The reason I'm here this evening is I was wondering when the county intends to clean the brook between Flagship Brook between Parker Avenue and Cape Avenue. Right now, I looked at it tonight before I came here, and you can hardly see the water. The foliage is that big and that tall. And someone decided to get rid of a tree. There are no branches on it, but it's got to be 20 feet long at least, and it's just stuck in the water. And there's a tire there. I mean, it's just great. I'm just wondering if periodically the county look at it to see if there needs to be drainage.
Sure. Sir, if you might, I'm going to ask, since I'm up on the dais, if the Deputy County Administrator, Michael Bellucci, will take your information, and we will contact you tomorrow for additional information. And what we'll do is we'll reach out to our Public Works Department, and in particular, I would like to reach out to Mosquito Patrol to see where, what the history is there and how they might be of assistance there.
Says I'd appreciate it because the Kip area, that's the last culvert before the diversionary line, which the county put in some years ago.
Yep.
And it's been very helpful, because the house I lived in was flooded 3 times. And I made adjustments and I had to build as well. But the point is, if it passes that point and the diversionary line, then we have problems. I think.
Understood.
Thank you. Andrea Bowen?
Hi, Freeholders. My name is Andrea Bowen. I'm the Executive Director of Garden State Equality, which is New Jersey's statewide civil rights organization for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. And I'm here tonight to thank you for the creation of the LGBTQ Advisory Board. This is a really, really momentous thing that you're about to do this evening. And on behalf of the staff and board and volunteers, we're just really excited to see this happen. As we're well aware, the Supreme Court just made marriage equality constitutional law, which is great. But one thing that I think this evening marks is that this is kind of just the beginning of our movement. We have a lot more to go. Whether it's there's an LGBT youth homelessness crisis, right? Where if you go into a if you look at the youth homeless population, somewhere between 20 and 40% of that is LGBT people, right? That's an issue that we can work with on a local level. When it comes to health insurance, do you all self-insure for your city for municipal employees? There's the issue of do we provide transgender benefits for transgender people so that they can transition safely? Because when transgender people, such as myself, have the kind of medical care that we need to be able to transition, we lead significantly better lives. So that's another issue that we could all work on together. I think there's sort of an unseen problem in New Jersey where a lot of people will just go to New York to get the kinds of resources that they need as LGBT people, whether it be health care, whether it be going to a community center, whether it's something else. And we want to keep that population in New Jersey and getting their resources in New Jersey. So I look forward to working with you and the soon-to-be created advisory board on making Bergen County and the rest of New Jersey the best possible place in the entire country for the LGBT community. So thank you very much.
Councilwoman Karen DiDarminio.
Councilwoman Karen DiDarminio, 537 Avon Lane, Saddlebrook. Thank you so much for choosing Saddlebrook tonight to come here and do your meeting. I'd like to invite you, our mayor has put in place a flood committee. And I am co-chair along with Councilman Joe Camilleri. And we would like to invite you to attend our next meeting, which is September 16th at our senior center at 7 o'clock. Also, we are putting in a road improvement program, and it's my understanding that the county is going to pave Midland Avenue. And I wanted to ask if you know when that's going to be done, because summer is coming to an end.
Councilwoman, what I could do is I will check with our operations department. I mean, I've been with the county for 25 years, and one thing I've learned is that schedule sometimes shifts, and it all depends on weather conditions, etc. But what we could try to do is I'll reach out to operations tomorrow and see if we can pinpoint that a little bit better and see where we are with that, and we could circle back to you. And again, I'll have Michael get a direct number for you, and that way we can circle back to you and give you a better approximate time, if you will,
Okay.
as to when that project is due to commence.
Great. Thank you.
Freeholders are your purpose.
Councilwoman, I just want, first of all, thank you for the invitation to the event, to the meeting on the 16th. I know a lot of us are interested in the flood control issue and definitely want to be part of that dialogue. But we have a freeholder meeting, public session that night at 7:30, so unfortunately, it's going to be impossible for us to be there, but we definitely want to be invited going forward and continue to be at that table.
Okay, so I'll keep you posted of our schedule.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And Councilman, for that, on behalf of the freeholders and the county executive, we will arrange to have a representative from county government at that meeting to represent the government.
Thank you.
So, considering that it is a public meeting, so we will have somebody there.
Freeholder to know.
And I'll instruct my aide to be there as well, being that I am the designee from the Freehold Board for flagging, so I'll make sure that somebody's there.
Okay, and we'll coordinate the dates better for the next one. Okay, thank you very much.
Councilman Andrew Simonuka.
Good evening, Freeholders, Administrator. I know everybody except Mr. Sullivan, so. Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations. I wanted to follow up on what Councilwoman Dominio had spoken, and that is about Midland Avenue. I'd love to throw it in the lap of the county. However, full disclosure, we had a little finger pointing issue in Saddlebrook itself between engineers of who was going to fix it. Apparently, well, the program is you guys are going to pave the roads. We have to provide ADA accessible ramps.
Right.
And it's been going back and forth who's going to finish the job. I think we're at that level because I've seen some movement on that. The only thing I'm asking is that when you do get this, if you can try and expedite funding for that and the paving, because as we know, once you have a winter like we've had the last 2 winters, things get bogged down. So I'm just asking for your help. I possibly was our fault that it's taken this long so far, but just when you get it, if you can expedite it. Similarly, with regard to the senior housing that's on Caldwell Avenue that the council has approved here, once that comes to you, if you, anything that you can do on that issue to push it forward, appreciate it. In terms of the county park, I agree, but respectfully disagree with the mayor. It's great to have a county park here. However, I feel that our county park, the one located in Saddlebrook, is like the redheaded stepchild of the county park system. Recently, the mayor and most of the council were at the lake at the park, and there must have been 100 bags of trash that we, in addition to, I think, the State County Riverkeeper and the Mayor's Youth Advisory Group, picked up. I mean, we just scraped it. We were there for hours, just pulling out stuff. There's got to be a machine or some kind of muck raking machine that can pull that stuff out. We've also heard rumors that there's going to be some kind of a deck or some kind of a, something that's going to be put on either side, like a pier, a fishing pier or something. But I just feel that sometimes that park seems to get short shrift when it comes to attention by the county. Maybe it's just because I'm here, but I see a lot of other things going on in other parks, and I just like the freeholders to pay attention to Saddlebrook, because a lot of people not from Saddlebrook use that. We got all surrounding communities, and we kind of share it with Rochelle Park, as half is a Rochelle Park. And lastly, I know we got a 3 minute, you know, in Saddlebrook, we have no time limit to talk forever. Here, I'm trying to do it in 3 minutes. And lastly, the coyotes. I'm almost there, right?
Almost there.
Okay. That's it, done? Get out of here. With regard to coyotes, today I'm looking in the paper and Saddle River and New Jersey is talking about ways to shoot Bambi because I have too many deer. What we get for coyotes in Saddlebrook is we're going to put up signs. So it's got to be something else. So just look into it. That's all. Thank you.
Sounded like you wanted them relocated to Saddle River.
Take care of their deer problem.
Lord Beanstalk.
Claude Beanstalk, Fair Lawn resident. Welcome to having it here in Saddlebrook. I appreciate it very much. I have a comment to make about William Carlos Williams Center. Thanks for looking into it. I join millions of people that want it saved. I know it's a big issue, and it's, the answers are difficult. I don't have the answers, so keep working on it. And then I have to comment about the Hudson River Railroad tunnels. They have to be fixed immediately. I know it may be a federal issue, not a state issue, whatever, but those tunnels cannot be closed. If they're closed for any amount of time, it will cripple the economy of the Northeast region, and those tunnels are needed. We must send thousands of workers to fix them up, and we must have adequate police or National Guard troops to protect these people to prevent a terrorist attack, because the terrorists always are targeting sites in New York, or between New York and New Jersey. So I believe we could land a man on the moon. We can certainly fix these tunnels, because we can't wait 20 years for a new tunnel. Building a new tunnel may cost $22 billion, which the government doesn't have. And I think it might be a temporary solution, but I think efforts should be made to fix the tunnels. I'm not an engineer or construction project manager, so I can explain how it should be done, but something has to be done. The problem cannot be ignored. It's not going to go away. There has been damage done to the tunnels. They are 105 years old. They were damaged at Superstorm Sandy, but we cannot close them completely because we need them for the service. So it is a dilemma. I'm glad Transportation Secretary Hood came down, or Mr. Fox, whatever his name is, and looked into it. And I'm glad that Christie and Booker were meeting with Menendez to discuss it. But we need action and some kind of solution to this problem. And I suggest that they can be fixed with adequate work being done. I don't think it's impossible. I think where there's a will, there's a way. I really think that something could be done immediately to deal with this problem. Anything you could do about it would be appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mary Costas.
I didn't talk to him.
K-O-S-T-U-S. Thank you. I'm the Conservation Chairperson for Bergen County Audubon Society, and I have a couple words and then a statement from Don Torino, the President. Just want to say that, we have business people here, and we have a member of the LGBT community here, and others, and we're talking about parks, and I don't know if anybody's noticed, but we see a lot of open space disappearing very quickly. And pretty soon, New Jersey will no longer be known as the Garden State, but as the oil and gas state if we don't do something quick. And that's my piece, and now I'm going to read Don's piece. In addition to all of the serious safety concerns, this is about Pilgrim Pipeline. This pipeline will cause irreparable habitat destruction and harm to many endangered species of wildlife and plants through the most pristine part of our county. The people of Bergen County and our more than 2,000 members of Bergen County Audubon Society appreciate and love the wild places we are still lucky enough to have. We should not tolerate the loss of such an amazing place to ill-conceived and unnecessary projects like Pilgrim Pipeline. Signed, Don Torino, President. Thank you.
Could I just follow up on Mary's comments too, and to give a shout out to Bergen County Audubon because of all of the things they do for us and throughout the county. And one thing that I had spoken to Don about was the butterfly garden that's over at Overhead. It's on the other side. And since that area of Overhead Park now is closed to the public, as the remediation plan is being put in place, it doesn't always get the attention that it needs. And it's good timing, as you read the letter from Don, just to bring it up on the record. They completely installed that garden themselves. They maintain the garden. It's beautiful. It's right next to the equestrian center, and it could use our support. Parks Chairman Finale.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I have just received a message that Laura would like to speak, but I don't have her last name. Oh. Hi, Laura.
Hello, my name is Laura Zottarelli.
Spell it.
Laura Zottarelli.
Spell the last name.
Zottarelli.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura Zottarelli, and I am the president of the Student Government Association at Bergen Community College. I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you guys a little bit about what we're doing throughout the summer. We have been speaking at orientations as much as we can, along with recruiting students to join our Senate. We have also been meeting with different administration and faculty throughout the school to gain more knowledge about how the college runs. We do have a lot in store and hope to keep communicating with this board, especially throughout this school year, to be successful as a college. And I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak before this board? If not,
There is someone?
Hello, Bergen Freeholders. My name is Naomi Gamora, Gamorra. I'm here to speak. I'm a member of the Glen Rock Tree Committee, and I was a member of the Glen Rock Environmental Commission, and I'm a member of Food and Water Watch. I'm asking you, we're at a crucial time in our development. We need to take a stand and protect what little we have. We talk about flooding, we talk about butterfly gardens. There's no more monarchs. I planted a butterfly garden. I saw one butterfly in it. I work at the Glen Rock Arboretum as a volunteer. I saw 2 butterflies this summer. We cannot continue abusing the environment. We cannot continue doing business as usual. So I am asking you, as a board and as a very powerful freeholder committee, being one of the most popular counties in New Jersey, and a very important and crucial key county in the country. Bergen County, I once said when I was lobbying for another organization, Bergen County rules the world, because we do have a lot of population, we have a lot of intelligence, we have a lot of clout, we have a lot of representation, and a lot of business, a lot of everything. But what we don't have is a lot of vision. So I'm asking you as a board to think about what you can do to maintain what little environment we have left in this very populated area.
Our administrator would like to say something. And I'll ask when I need a motion. Thank you very much.
I just want to clarify something with respect to folks who raised issues with respect to paving. And I believe it was the councilman who raised the issue about some of the conversations that were taking place here in Saddlebrook, and raised the issue about the ADA issues. I must clarify that indeed the ADA compliance issue with the ramp and curb cuts must precede the actual paving. And we actually have for our government a gentleman named Jason Alex, who works for me in the Department of Planning and Engineering. He is the county's ADA compliance coordinator on road projects. So we're actually going to reach out to Jason to to see where we are with the ADA portion of the road paving projects in Saddlebrook as well, because that must come first, then we could do the paving. I just wanted to clarify that for everyone and to the mayor, that that really must come first, and then we could do the paving, so.
That's one of the reasons why some of our towns don't have their roads paved, because they have not put the ADA compliance in, and that's very important. You have something important to say, Freeholder?
Important it is, but I just wanted to, just to Mary's comment about how it seems like we're losing a lot of open space in Bergen County. As the freeholder that sits on open space, I think I can't disagree with you more. We have a tremendous open space board that does the most that it can do with the funding that it receives from taxation. We're constantly acquiring properties that ends up being preserved up north if they become available, so that we can continue to keep large blocks of land available for open space. For places that are in need of repair, they're finding funding to help municipalities. They hand out a lot of grants through the year on projects that help keep open space for our children and for the future. So I think here in Bergen County, open space is taken very, very seriously, and that board, every single one of those members that are volunteers that sit on that board are very, very passionate about maintaining the open space in Bergen County. So I understand the frustration sometimes when things don't go the way we want it to go, and we think that everything is not working out, but I can assure you that sitting on that board and listening to the passion that each one of those members have about the projects that come before them, that Bergen County, to me, does a tremendous job for open space.
Well, if you'd like to put in some more butterfly gardens and some common milkweed, we'd be happy to help out.
Well, I was working on a project with Don, with milkweed in November, so we are, I have met with him, we are working on projects, so.
I heard about that, that's great.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
Second.
May I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Will the clerk please read the resolutions on the consent agenda?
On the consent agenda, we have 946-15 through 946-15 and 948-15 through 990-15.
May I have a motion to accept these resolutions on the consent agenda?
Second.
All in favor, roll call.
Freeholder DiNicola.
Yes.
Freeholder Solis. Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Yes.
Freeholder Tenelli.
Yes.
Freeholder Zuer.
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz.
Yes. Are there any resolutions on non-consent called or tabled? If so, will the clerk please read?
There is one 947-15 is a resolution authorizing shared services agreement with the Borough of Paramus for consulting services of the borough's golf superintendent.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Actually, discussion on the motion, please.
Okay, would you like to have a discussion?
Yes, I was the one who asked that this be placed on non-consent. I will say that many of my questions were answered during the work session portion of our meeting back at the ranch. And I just want to clarify for the record that it is indeed a fact that we lost a valuable asset in Kevin Purcell when he left the county and he was the head of traffic division. And there was a gap and a time when there was no one in that position. And that was the reason for this advisory consulting contract that is now retroactively, yes, put in place. But those services were definitely needed and reflected positively in our golf revenues this year already. So I want to say I will vote in favor of this motion, given that clarity, but the hope is in the future, now that we have Tom McGovern running golf, that we won't need so much outside advice in really keeping golf moving in the right direction. Thank you.
Okay, roll call, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to thank County Council for giving us background on the shared service agreement. At first it was kind of cloudy as far as how many hours and so forth, and it's not a direct payment to the gentleman, but rather to the borough of Paramus. And I think that's what's so good about that discussion and the discussion we had actually in closed session regarding those particulars. So I will be voting in the affirmative for this, and I think it can only benefit the golf program and create revenue for the county.
This is a very positive thing because it is shared services, and that's something that we've all been working very hard to promote. Freeholder Tinelli.
Just to build on what Freeholder Nicola mentioned, that golf is up $400,000 this year, a 7% increase over last year at this time. And the administration, the reason they went this route, to reiterate what she mentioned, was that they felt it was more cost effective to go this route than to bring somebody on, which would have then incurred the fringe costs of benefits and pension. So this was a much better cost effective way of filling the gap until we got a full-time person on staff. So thank you.
Now, may I have roll call?
Okay, Freeholder Nicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan?
Yes.
Freeholder Tinelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Boss?
Yes. We will now review the ordinance for the first reading and introduction of ordinances 15-16 and 15-17. Will the clerk please read ordinance 15-16 by title only?
15-16 is a bond ordinance providing for the total appropriation of $3,300,000 for the acquisition of a CSI InfoShare/CAD program for the Department of Public Safety by and in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, by authorizing the issuance of bonds or notes in the amount of $362,314.63 and amending bond ordinance numbers 08-38, 09-19, 10-21, 06-15, 07-11, 13-22, and 14-23 to reappropriate $2,918,616.18 in aggregate appropriations, including to reappropriate $2,772,685.37 in aggregate bond and note authorizations, and to reappropriate $145,930.81 in aggregate down payments from the aforesaid bond ordinances to be amended and to provide for the cost of issuance thereof.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any discussion on this ordinance as long as it is?
Madam Chair, thank you so much. We had a presentation on this our last work session regarding just the benefits of this. And this investment that's being made mutually by the prosecutor's office and the sheriff's department, as well as by this board, will really enable us to engage in the best shared service, sharing information so that our law enforcement can have up-to-the-minute input of data, constantly being able to communicate with each other and make that available to our towns ultimately as well. So this is a wonderful, effective, and efficient law enforcement. It's a shared service for individuals within the county, and therefore I'm going to be voting in the affirmative as far as this ordinance is concerned. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Freeholder Nicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan?
Yes.
Freeholder Tinelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Boss?
Yes, ordinance 1516 passes first reading. Will the clerk read ordinance 15-17 by title only?
Ordinance 15-17 is a bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements related to law enforcement by and in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, appropriating $7,571,708, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $7,193,122 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 1517?
Second.
Do I have a second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any discussion on this ordinance 1517? If not, will the clerk please call the roll?
Freeholder Nicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan?
Yes.
Freeholder Tinelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Boss?
Yes, ordinance 1517 passes first reading. We will now go on to our ordinances for second reading and adoption. Will the clerk please read ordinance 1519?
The proof of publication of ordinance notice of the public hearing was published on the record in the Herald News on Monday, August 10, 2015, and is on file in my office. A copy of the notice of the hearing and ordinance number 15-19 was duly posted pursuant to NJSA 48:2-17 on Friday, August 7, 2015. Ordinance 15-19 is an ordinance amending the Bergen County Planning Board Site Plan Review Fee Schedule.
May I have a motion to open the hearing of ordinance 1519 to the public? Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing is now open with a 5-minute time limit. The board attorney will keep the time. When the time of the speaker expires, the timekeeper will announce the time has expired. Does anyone wish to speak on ordinance 1519? May I have a motion to close the hearing on ordinance 1519?
Second.
My second, all in favor?
Aye.
Is there any discussion by the board on ordinance 1519? May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1519 as read by the
Second.
clerk? Is there a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Freeholder Di Nicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan?
Yes.
Freeholder Tinelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz?
Yes, ordinance 1519 is adopted. Will the clerk please read the next ordinance? Ordinance 1520 for second reading.
The proof of publication of the ordinance notice of the public hearing was published in the record in the Herald News on Monday, August 10, 2015, and is filed in my office. A copy of the notice of the hearing in ordinance 15-19 was duly posted pursuant to NJSA 48:2-17 on Friday, August 7, 2015. Ordinance 15-20 is an ordinance amending the Bergen County Planning Board subdivision review fee schedule.
May I have a motion to open the hearing of the ordinance to
So moved.
to the public? Second? Anyone? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now open with a 5-minute time limit. Does anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? If not, may I have a motion to close the hearing to the public?
So moved.
Public hearing of the ordinance 1520 is closed. Are there any members of the board that wish to discuss ordinance 1520? Freeholder Gans.
Just a brief comment. I had a discussion with the executive's office to make sure that all members of the planning and zoning board, which will be affected by this planning board, will be given access to the applicable books and records that are on this, as they all have copies on zoning available to them, either as book form or online. Thank you.
Any other comments? May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1520?
So moved. Second?
Roll call, please.
Freeholder Di Nicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Felice? Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan?
Yes.
Freeholder Tinelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz?
Yes, ordinance 1520 is adopted. Will the clerk read the next ordinance reading on ordinance 1521?
Ordinance 15-21 is the proof of publication of the ordinance notice of public hearing was published in the record in the Herald News on Monday, August 10, 2015, and is on file in my office. A copy of the notice of the hearing and ordinance number 15-21 was duly posted pursuant to NJSA 48:2-17 on Friday, August 7, 2015. Ordinance number 1521 is an ordinance amending the Bergen County Administrative Code to establish the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Questioning Advisory Committee.
May I have a motion to open the hearing to the public on ordinance 1521? Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Public hearing is now open with a 5-minute time limit. Does anyone in the audience wish to? Laura, I'm sorry. Ma'am, no, I'm sorry. Andrea, I got it. My school teacher is getting rusty. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're doing great, don't worry. School teacher means that you get to forget my name, at least until like October, so that's totally fine. My parents raised me to thank people as much as possible and in every opportunity, so thank you all again. I've already been collecting projects for the advisory board to take on and probably consequently the freeholders to take on, so I'm excited and I look forward to the vote. Thank you all.
Anyone else wish to speak? May I have a motion to close the hearing on 1521? Okay. The public hearing on ordinance 1521 is closed. Are there any members of the board who wishes to make comment on 1520? Freeholders are...
Before Andrea took my line, which is when she talked about the fact that the passage of marriage equality being the beginning part of the dialogue. And I'm very excited that we're going to continue to move the dialogue forward in Bergen. And you know, one of the things that's so amazing about this county as we all go to the 70 different municipalities and deal with so many different ethnicities and religions and geographies is to really embrace the diversity. You know, just last Friday, I think all of us were at Indian flag raising and a Korean flag raising and an Italian festival in one evening. To be able to bring all these voices to what we're doing in county government is so important, and to be able to add this one to what we're doing as an advisory board is wonderful. I want to thank in advance all the people who are going to submit their applications as after we finish advertising to fill these positions, which are all volunteer positions, by the way. That was one of the questions that I heard raised in the press. These are all non-paid positions, and they're going to be giving their time to make sure that the voices of this community are heard. So we look forward to engaging in that process, and thank you.
Anyone else on the board wish to speak? Freeholder Gans.
Hallelujah.
Anyone else? Oh, Freeholder DiNicola.
Thank you. I just want to say I look forward to the day when we're eliminating all of these committees and there's really no need for them anymore. I learned a lot over the last few years. I have a young friend from Washington, Skylar Taylor, who will be swimming this year for the men's swim team, although she was recruited to the women's swim team up at Harvard. And I look forward to her success there. She really did teach me a lot. So I look forward to Bergen County lighting the way. We are, what was the statement during the public hearing? Bergen County rules the world? Was that? Yes, thank you. I encourage more entertainment like that. Let's hope so. Moving forward together.
Anyone else? Oh, Tom.
Very briefly, I just want to say this is great, and the world will be a much better place if we just accept everyone for who they are. That's all I have to say.
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1521?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Who's first on that?
I don't know if they said went a little slower, we would be able to get the names. And I would admonish you in future, please, when I ask for a motion, so that we can get the name of the person who made the first motion and the second. Okay, thank you. I don't know. That's why I just reprimanded everybody.
I will defer to Chairman, to Freeholder Gans.
Freeholder Gans, and the
Yes.
second was? Okay. Now may I have roll call?
Freeholder DiNicola.
Yes.
Freeholder Police.
Yes.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Yes.
Freeholder Tonelli.
Yes.
Freeholder Zor.
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz.
Yes. Ordinance 1521 is adopted. Okay, we will now have committee reports, but as I have asked you in the past, and I will ask you in the future, please try to keep under 5 minutes, okay? And since there are 7 of us, that gives us quite a lot of time, okay? So, Freeholder Gans, would you like to go first?
I'll be brief. I'm delighted to be here in Saddlebrook. I wanted to take the opportunity to tell you all about something you may have heard of, or maybe you didn't. It's the Bergen Wellness Program. The builders have heard this for at least 10 years for me at every meeting. This is a program that gives you discounts on prescription drugs, discounts on hearing aids, discounts on drugs for your pets. And if you use the program, use it for drugs for yourselves. The discount range is anywhere from 12% to 42%. And for Mimi, the Pekingese cat, 30% off on her Insulin. It's a great program, it's a great price, and much more importantly, the card is absolutely free. You can download it from the Freeholder website. You can ask any freeholder for it. I'll be very happy to give it to you and hope that you use it. $14 million has been saved by Bergen County consumers who have used it to buy drugs at a discount. It mostly is useful for people that do not have a pharmaceutical reimbursement program at their point of work, but it also works for other individuals and for other organizations. There are 55,000 pharmacies in the United States that you can use this at, and it's obviously not just in New Jersey, it's elsewhere. And you don't have to even be a resident of the state of New Jersey to enjoy the benefits of this card brought to you by the Board of Chosen Freeholders. Just to a quick end to it, the best buy in it is for hearing aids. The good set of hearing aids, for those of you who don't know, cost about $6,000. With the Bergen Wellness Card, that $6,000 set is about $3,000. Former freeholder McPherson, the last month of her mother in Philadelphia to get a hearing aid. She was quoted $2,800, and she's been carrying this Bergen Wellness Card in her wallet for the last 10 years. She's not had occasion to use it, but she said, "Can I use this for our mom?" They got the hearing aid for $900. It's real money. It's in your pocket. And anyway, as we now approach the end of our summer season, we invite you to come back again in the fall. Use your Bergen Wellness Card. In the meantime, if you have a good experience with it, please let us all know. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the summer.
Thank you. I just want to segue into something that the Freeholder Gans said, because we've been talking about all the wonderful things that we have here in Bergen County. And one of the things that I think is very, very wonderful is the Bergen County Animal Shelter. This past Saturday, we had cleared the shelter, and several of us went down there, and the place is pristine. It is absolutely beautiful. Over 67 animals were adopted. I have many pets, and I'm probably going to go back tomorrow or the next day and get another one because I just can't resist. And I'm very happy that I think everybody up here is an animal lover, but I have persuaded several of the people who work in our offices that having cats are the most wonderful companions. And so one of our aides has, or one of our little directors has 3 that he just adopted. Another has 1. And I keep trying to make sure that every animal has a home. And then with David's wellness card, you don't even have to worry very much about veterinary prices and things of that sort. So please go out to the animal shelter. You will absolutely be awed by it and hopefully bring home a purry little critter. Freeholder Tinelli, would you like to go next?
Thank you, Chairman. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Mayor White and the Saddlebrook Council for allowing us to use your chambers tonight for this meeting. This was something that was very important to all of us up here, specifically even Tracy and I ran in 2012. One of our concerns we were hearing from residents around Bergen County was we can't make it to Hackensack on a Wednesday night every week. So we wanted to make a conscious effort. My colleagues all agreed that it would be a great idea to move these meetings. This happens to be our second one. Our first one was in Rutherford. We all agree that it's a way to bring people out where we can find out what's going on in Elmwood Park without having to travel to Hackensack, find out what's going on in your park, and your residents can bring their concerns to us. So I would just like to thank you first and foremost for allowing us to use your chambers. And before I just tell people about a few of the things we visited, as I'm sitting up here and we're voting on ordinance and resolution after resolution, and we're all voting yes, 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 it almost seems like this is a rubber stamp, because when you're sitting on a mayor and council, we do the work during the council meeting and then vote on it. So if there's concern or discussion, that happens at the same meeting. Everyone else has to understand this Freeholder Board meets prior to this meeting, so everything is already kind of predetermined when we get here. We've already had our conversations, we've already had our heated discussions. Sometimes behind closed doors on some issues. So by the time we get to this meeting, we all agree on what we're voting on. So it may appear that it's all rubber stamps, but it took a lot of work to get here, and a lot of work with the people behind the scenes getting all the paperwork done. So before I do my report, it's not everybody agreeing on everything. The work went in way before we got here. So really briefly on a few of the things I attended. Thursday night was our last concert series in Oakland County Park. The Duprees, all 3 of them were very, very successful. It's something that the county executive has assured everyone is going to be something that we're going to do moving forward. It was with use of no taxpayer dollars. The staff that was there would have been there anyway, and it was all sponsored by a public and private partnership that we had people that really were anxious to sponsor it. We had at least 1,000 people every night at each of the 3 concerts. 2 of the 3 acts were outstanding. They travel all over Bergen County. If you go to the concerts like we all do, we see them, we become friends with them, we know them, we could actually stand and sing little songs and dance. Freeholder sort of mentioned we had a couple flag raising, the Indian and Korean flag raising on Friday. Very, very well attended. It just shows the diversity of Bergen County, and we have a great opportunity to honor each culture And whether it's be a religion or a culture or, it's just, we get a chance sitting up here to experience it all. And up until 2012, I must have lived a sheltered life because I didn't experience half of what I experienced in the last 2.5 years. And it's really an eye-opening thing, and I encourage people to try and get out and see as much as you can that Bergen County has to offer. Also the animal shelter. We also attended a Filipino event that was in Sea Caucus. It's a 2-day fiesta that takes place every year for the last 17 years. It was packed. They had stars and celebrities, and it was just another opportunity to get small businesses and vendors out, and again, to share in their culture with each and every person that attended the event. And that's going to be my report. Thank you very much.
Very much. Close to 5 minutes.
The prologue was a little longer than prologue. Okay, Freeholder Sullivan.
I knew that was going to get in trouble.
Ready, go.
And the answer?
Thank you, Chairman. Again, I want to say, echo my colleagues' sentiments. Thank you to Saddlebrook for hosting us here this evening. It's definitely a great thing for us to get out and see everyone in our county. We did attend the Garfield Italian Festival, which was good. Zephyrs weren't the best. I had to talk to them about that. They're a little salty. We'll straighten that out for next year, I assure you that. We also attended with our freeholders the flag raisings for the Indian Independence Day, as well as the Liberation of Korea's 70th anniversary. And also on Sunday, Freeholder Tanelli and I were at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church in Englewood.
Me too.
And they didn't let me finish. That's not going against my 5 minutes. With Freeholder Gaines and Freeholder Loss, obviously our other freeholders were doing other things. We have to split up. We can't always attend the same thing. So it's not like they didn't want to come. It's just we all had other things to do. And what we did there is we donated school supplies to the people in Mount Calvary and Englewood, and that was really well attended and it really went well. And then we did have some discussion at the last council, still on the council here, at the last freeholder work session regarding the heroin epidemic. We had a presentation on the heroin epidemic, and I did promise that I would have a meeting with Prosecutor Mulally, and I did go have a meeting with Prosecutor Mulally regarding heroin, Narcan, and all the things associated with Ocean County has looked into a possible way to deal with Narcan, that if you use it, you have to go in for counsel, it's a they're trying to look to see if they can make it mandatory. Obviously, that's a hard thing to do. The prosecutor assured me he will look into that, but he also did tell me, Freeholder Tina Cola and I have been working hand in hand on a lot of things, and I didn't have a chance to tell them that. Next month, we'll have a meeting with Sue DBA, Ellen Elias, yourself, myself, regarding the use of Narcan, and also just what we can do to help the epidemic of heroin. Some of the suggestions were that if someone is revived with Narcan, for those who don't know, it's a mist that goes in your nose for heroin. For a person that overdoses from heroin, they can get revived with Narcan. They most likely be brought to the hospital, but we can't force them to stay in the hospital. But what I was happy to hear from the prosecutor is that every case that does go to the hospital with Narcan, they are offered counseling. It's not mandatory, and it's going to be a hard thing to make mandatory. That's something the Ocean County prosecutor is looking at. But they are offered the help if they want it. Now, a lot of times they don't want it, but we are moving forward with that, and it's something we're taking very seriously. Thank you.
Thank you. Freeholder Zer, would you like to go next?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Last time I was not permitted to make committee reports, and I would have liked to have had the opportunity to have thanked our wonderful interns for the summer. Many of them have now left to go back to school, and they're not here with us this evening. But I do want to thank specifically mine, Tamir Williams, Rachel Silverman, and Jay Lee, all of whom put in a lot of effort to make sure that we could get ahead on some of our research projects, so we can get ahead on some of our community outreach, and we hope to have given them a broad experience and exposure to what county government is about and what it does. So I know that I echo the sentiments of a lot of the freeholders who are really grateful for the the support that we got from them this summer, and to our aides who also mentored and tutored them along the way. I don't have to hold up. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to, first of all, I want to thank, this week we went to the retirement dinner, I think it was this weekend, of Joy Curlin. Is it this week? It's all blending together. Monday night, thank you. Joy Curlin has been the chair of the Jewish Community Relations Council for the last 25 years and has really brought her expertise and commitment and passion to creating interfaith dialogue throughout the county, to advocating on so many issues, and for being there for other communities throughout her tenure. And I want to thank her for her service. Freeholder Dean Nicole and I were on board to congratulate her and wish her the best of luck with her retirement. And I just wanted to echo that as well. Since our last committee reports, we also, all of us were at varieties of National Night Out celebrations, which are really celebrations of community where law enforcement comes together and highlights the importance of a wonderful relationship with those involved in law enforcement. I was in Paramus, Ridgefield Park, and Hackensack. I know that each one had a wonderful flavor of community and really brought together what community policing is about, which is something that we really need to be working for and working towards. I attended the Senior Services Coalition meeting, which is an ongoing discussion that we have about how we can be better providing services for the seniors within our communities, and addressing issues from recreation facilities to transportation, which always seems to be a big one that we're working on and continuing to stumble over. And we're all committed to furthering that dialogue and making sure that we're doing the best for our senior citizens as they enter retirement years and need, some of them need more of our help at that point in time. We also celebrated Women's Equality Day, exactly. And today is actually an appropriate day to highlight that, as it is the anniversary of our right to vote. And as one who is tremendously grateful for those who came before and without whom I would not be sitting in this chair, I want to just draw attention to there is still work to be done as far as really attaining equality. And when I make the same 100 cents to $1 that my male counterparts do, we will be grateful for that as well. But I want to thank all of those who came before. I know Freeholder Voss often goes through the history lesson. We cannot forget our history, and we cannot overlook the contributions that those women made to bring us to this day. Thank you very much.
Freeholder Police.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. There's two issues I want to talk about. Both were kind of touched on this afternoon or this evening regarding quality of life, regarding civil rights. And the first thing is, and I'm very honored to be named to the body camera subcommittee. I'll be serving with Freeholder Reserve. And I think that's going to really be something that is going to enhance the quality of life, but also protect our civil rights as well as our law enforcement personnel from scurrilous accusations. But look out to protect the residents of Bergen County, the people that pass through Bergen County. Secondly is the subcommittee for Bergen Regional, and how in which, who's going to manage that facility that affects so many people that have really nowhere else to go. And they talked about the heroin epidemic, we talked about psychiatric treatment, and here again, public safety, and this is something that we just can't walk away from. So I'm very honored to be able to serve on that board. And what will happen on that committee will affect, and I've said this many times, the residents and the people that are treated there, and all the people that are affected for the next 50 years. So, and I just want to thank the mayor and the council as well as the clerk of the board to provide a quick turnaround from our work session to coming here to Saddlebrook. And I have a warm heart. My godparents, the Denines, lived in for many, many years in Saddlebrook. And it's a wonderful community. I grew up at Fair Lawn. And there's no better place to live than in Bergen County. So thank you very much for your hospitality, and have a great rest of the summer. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Freeholder Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to start by saying at the beginning of our meeting when Father Matthew gave the invocation, he said he wished on us common sense. And it reminded me when I first became a mayor, a well-respected because you're going to find out that common sense is not too common in government. And present company accepted, of course, but it tends to be true. Things don't always happen as quickly as we would like them to. I do want to echo my colleagues in saying thank you, Saddlebrook, for hosting us tonight. The last time I was in this room was when I gave a presentation for Access for All, and I want to thank you for your hospitality that night as well. For those who don't know, Access for All is a community advisory committee that includes members of the disabled community as well as elected officials, emergency service members, anyone that you feel would appropriately serve on a committee that would help the town in decisions and discussions, given that they are one of the fastest growing segments of our community, second only to seniors. So Mayor, not to put you in the hot seat, but I do look forward to the Mayor and Council passing a resolution so you can join 26 other communities in Bergen
We did
County.
already.
Oh, you did?
We did, yes.
Wonderful. We'll have to get a copy of it and put you right on the list. So thank you very much for that. Also in Bergen County, we celebrated the 25th anniversary of ADA. It was a celebration that we had at Bergen Community College, and it was packed. There were so many organizations, people, members of municipalities and elected officials there. It really was great, and what's even better is Bergen County's Division of Disability Services is over 30 years old. So we really do lead the way, and we're going to continue to strive to do that for everyone. And as far as the ADA curbs too, I want to echo what our administrator had said. About 5 years ago, our Public Works Committee really worked very hard to hammer out the new program and policies with municipalities so that you are reimbursed as quickly as possible, so that there is an understanding instead of a misunderstanding with what the municipality's responsibility is, how you're reimbursed by the county, and then there's no gap in the roads program for county roads throughout Bergen. I also attended a Filipino American Association Scholarship Luncheon in Fairlawn. They granted scholarships to 8 high school seniors from all different towns throughout Bergen County, and it was really refreshing to see the caliber and also the areas of interest of these graduating seniors that they would like to concentrate in college. Very different from 10 years ago, even very different from 5 years ago, but really directed at a lot of the problems that they see and have grown up with, and the environment being one of them, and what affects the environment, things that we never knew before, and concentrations and majors that never existed before. I too was at Joy Curlin's retirement dinner with Freeholders. That was also wonderful. Packed room at the temple in Ridgewood. Joy has done so much to advance community relations and issues about building interfaith relationships. She was one of the founders of the Interfaith Brotherhood Sisterhood organization, and also about the state of Israel. And when I first became a freeholder, I truly had the honor of going on the first interfaith trip for 2 weeks to Israel, and it was life-changing. One of the greatest experiences I had as a freeholder. So there are some wonderful people doing really great things out there. I also wanted to mention that we had another meeting of the Senior Coalition. This is an organization that is still being organized and established in Bergen County. A lot of volunteers from the Bergen County Volunteer Coalition, also from the Center.
Freeholder.
Right, okay. I have my timer on. There. And I just want to say quickly, I know I by myself, there is so much to say. It's about aging in place in Bergen County, because we're finding for seniors, aging in facilities is so expensive And aging in place can also be very expensive, but we want to give an alternative to doing it efficiently, with good care, with an incredible network and the right services you need. And the last thing I want to say is I'm a dog person. So my rescue from the animal shelter is another dog. And Diane said I could bring him to the next meeting. So, thank you, Madam Chair.
I try to run a tight ship.
Everybody else will keep it short.
Just a couple of things. Again, I want to thank Mayor White because I had the honor of representing Saddlebrook for 8 years in the state legislature, and so I feel like this is my second home, and I'm very happy to continue to work with you and all the people of Saddlebrook. Just a few things, because as Freeholders are said, I'm a history teacher, so I always have to get a little history lesson in. And we were talking about Women's Equality Day. Well, you can see that we women are very well represented up here on this Freeholder Board, but that is not the case throughout the country. Less than 25%, actually less than 20% of our legislators in Washington are women. And we have very few women governors and people who are in control of the states who are women. And yet we are 53% of the population. And I try to encourage young people, young women, I love men, don't get me wrong, but I encourage young women to get involved, because at the present moment, more women are graduating from college than men. More women are becoming doctors and lawyers than men. And so we are making progress, but we were the last to get the right to vote back in 1920, and we still, as Freeholders are said, have a long way to go. One of the nice things is Freeholder Gantz and I had the opportunity, we have sort of like a county that is like our sister county in Korea, because we have a very large Korean population. And they were so happy to come and ask us questions about how we run the county, what services we provide, and things of that sort. And we do this quite frequently. It's not always the same politicians who come from Korea, but they're very interested in what we do and how we do it, so that they can provide services. And I think that you see from the reports that we're giving up here, we are very, very passionate about what we do. And we do it because we really love people and we really want to help. And the last thing I just want to mention, or actually two things. I want to say congratulations. Jim Feeberry is the person who is in charge of our disabilities program. And we do so much for people with disabilities in Bergen County. And some of you may have heard of the Stigma-Free program, which we're trying to get all 70 towns in Bergen County to become part of. Access for All, okay, is another program which I think was mentioned a few times in this report. And we want to be most inclusive of all peoples and all types of people, and with all different issues and things of that sort. The last thing I just want to mention is that one of our former freeholders, Reverend Vernon Walton, has taken a church in, I think, Virginia. And Calvary Baptist Church has a new minister, the Reverend James Spencer, and he is going to be formally inaugurated, I guess would be the proper thing, or he's already ordained, but anyway. And we, as Freeholder Sullivan said, all of us were very much involved in bringing school supplies down, because Calvary Baptist does a lot to help the children, and so we try to give them as much assistance. And again, Mayor, thank you so much for having us here, and it was a pleasure, and keep up the good work. And there being no further business to come before this meeting, may I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.